Hello, everyone. It is Wednesday, June 16th, 2021. I don't know, maybe about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't hold me to that. I actually have no idea, but it's sometime in the evening. um, so, anyway, I apologize. I've been missing in action for a little bit here, at least a week or so. I was super sick. Like sinusy stuff, I guess. I don't know. Then that turned into like a chest cold that was like probably bordering bronchitis or something. I'm not really sure, but I kind of was getting hit with all this stuff, crazy stuff, crazy stuff that is rearing its ugly head after years. So anyway, the Lord is definitely putting me through a bit of a trial right now, or at least allowing it to go on, and basically stuff that you always, stuff you just I think everybody has maybe one or two things in their life that they just don't want to face. If you don't, good for you. But I know I have that one thing that facing it is a living hell for me. Facing it is my worst nightmare. I was hoping it was going to resolve itself on its own without a big, drawn out battle, physical, legal battle. But it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. So I can say, I jumped on here maybe a couple videos ago and was talking about attachments and how I was going through this purging period of attachments and how detaching from things strengthens you. And in this case, I understand now the timing of it and why the Lord was putting on my heart that I needed to detach from some certain traumatic events. And the reason is because Satan uses them against you. So when you go through trials, he uses them against you. The people that he uses use them against you. So you don't need that to interfere with your judgment, I guess is what I'm getting at. So anyway, I've been going through it and feeling pretty down, not gonna lie, trying to hang in there. But then over the last couple days, I have definitely gained a supernatural peace. Definitely a gift, a grace. Peace is a gift, inner peace in the midst of trial and turmoil, and when it seems like everything is falling apart. To be able to maintain an inner peace is 100% a gift from God. So I give him all the credit. And in that, so I've been trying to just focus on little things here and there, just trying to get through the day, focus on what I need to do, and focus on God and not focusing on the turmoil around me. And in so doing that, a couple cool things happened over the last couple days that I just wanted to share on here. Because, like, honestly, like, I'm a real person. I go through real struggles. I have real trials. I have real problems. I have real trauma. I have real events in my life. And as bad as they are, as bad as some of the stuff is that I have gone through, God has always made his presence known. And I feel like I've been bad about sharing that in the past, and so I'm changing that. So instead of focusing on how horrible everything is and how horrible everything's about to become, I want to focus on how awesome God is, right? And I want to share that with others to strengthen other people's faith. And I feel like it's part of our testimony as Christians, and it's important. So yesterday I went out to the mailbox and I opened my mailbox and I had two envelopes from the National Shrine of Our Lady of the Miraculous Medal. And it's in Perryville, Missouri. It's the Association of the Miraculous Medal. And I have ordered miraculous medals from them before, going back months, probably last year, actually, now that I think about it. I ordered a bunch of them, and I give them out. Actually, honestly, I give them out to a lot of homeless people. So anyway, I have ordered from there before. It's not like I'm not affiliated with them or anything. I am, but I don't recall getting all that much mail from them. But anyway, the timing was everything. And it was interesting because I'll just be honest, the battle I'm about to go through is in relation to a divorce. So when I had initially ordered and enrolled, I guess, in this association, I used my married name. So what caught my attention was when I went out and got these two envelopes from the mailbox, it was my maiden name. And I was like, I don't understand how that happened. And it wasn't even my first name. It was like my middle initial and my maiden name. And I was like so confused. And then I opened this envelope and this is the first thing I saw. And I was like joking and I was like, all right, it's not every day I get mail or get a card in the mail, but when I do, it's from the Blessed Mother. So it's this card of a picture of the Blessed Mother and it says, thinking of you. And it says, may you be surrounded by love, comforted by faith, blessed with peace. May our Blessed Mother and her Son Jesus enfold you in their tender love and care. And it's to send to somebody if you want to light a candle. So like the votive candles, like if you want to light one for someone, and then you can send them this card and say, I was thinking of you, I lit you a candle, sort of thing. But for me, this was like it just put a huge smile on my face because I understood what heaven was getting at. Like, chill out, thinking of you, like just the way she's standing, like she wants to give me a hug. Like, so for me, it was, maybe for most people that's stupid, but for me, it was an enormous sense of comfort in a situation where I feel like I'm a little bit surrounded by total darkness over here. So then today I'm cleaning. So that was like my first mail from heaven, right? And then today I'm cleaning off my counter. And I'm a member of the Militia of the Immaculata. So I get regular mail from them, like probably quarterly or whatever it is. And I always open it right away. So I don't know how this one got missed, but I was cleaning off my counter and I was going through some papers and shuffling things and throwing stuff out. And I just happened to look down and it was an envelope from the Militia of the Immaculata. And I'm like, it was unopened. And I was like, oh, that's weird. I must have not opened it. Usually I open them right away, read it, and whatever. And I found it very fascinating because as soon as I opened it, again, here's a prayer card. And usually they just send out bulletins. I don't think I haven't been a member for very long, but I've never gotten any kind of prayer card or anything. And it was from May 31st. So going back, a couple weeks now. So it's in honor of Maximilian Kolbe. And on the back is a prayer. And it talks about, I'll just read it. It says, Lord Jesus Christ, you said, greater love than this has no man than to lay down his life for his friends. Through the intercession of St. Maximilian Kolbe, whose life illustrated such love, we beseech you to grant our petitions. And then you mention your petitions. Through the Militia of the Immaculata movement, which St. Maximilian founded, he spread a fervent devotion to Our Lady throughout the world. He gave up his life for a total stranger and loved his persecutors. And that was like the part that stuck out to me because I had made up my resolve that last week when I got some certain news that I was not going to sink down into this. I was not going to be anybody's enemy, no matter how much somebody wants me to be their enemy. I'm not doing it. So I made up my mind, like, I'm a private investigator. I do domestic cases for a living. Like, this is what I do. I could build up my case. I could do whatever to make sure I win in court and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm not going to sink to that level. I'm not going to make anyone my enemy. And whatever the other side wants to say about me and false accusations that come my way and just general persecutions, most of them not true. This was a good reminder and a good confirmation for me that I'm on the right track. Don't sink down to that level. And family court, I see this happen all the time. I'm in the middle of it. I gather evidence for one side or the other, and it's at some point it stops becoming about, the best interest of everybody and the best interest of the children and the right thing to do. And it becomes about revenge. And I just won't do it. I'm just not going down that road in my own life. So say what you want about me. It is what it is. I'm not getting involved in it. I'll show up for my court dates and that's about all I'm willing to do here. And it reminded me of, I've been thinking a lot about Jesus when he went before Pilate and he was accused and he was totally innocent. I'm not innocent. I'm a sinner. I'm a horrible sinner. But he was totally innocent, right? And they accused him of all stuff and he didn't build a case. He didn't defend himself because he knew that in the end, the course of events weren't going to change no matter what he said, no matter how good his case was. It didn't matter, because the other side was so influenced by evil and so in the dark that they were never going to hear his side with an open heart, so it didn't matter. So that's where I'm at. So as you can see, that's why I've been off YouTube, and I'm sorry if this is like super personal. I know usually I'm a lot more like fight evil and whatever, but I'll tell you what, the battle, I mean, it's just something that's been like a long time coming and needs to happen. But there's no winning in it. It's just, it is what it is. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. Consolations from heaven. I feel like I've been blessed. Like I said, I've had a pretty tragic life, but I've been also very blessed in the realm of grace and consolations. You know, it seems like sometimes heaven will go out of its way to send me little pick-me-ups, if you will. Like, instead of a latte from Starbucks or whatever, I get, you know, cards from the Blessed Mother in the mail. And what I wanted to say, the lesson in all this is sometimes we can be, you know, we're receiving these consolations, but we can be so wrapped up in our misery that we don't see them. We don't appreciate them. If we all have to just take this, you know, take your eyes off Satan and what he's doing, and put your eyes on God and what he's doing, and look for these little tiny things. Like, this is what I look for all day long. You know, little tiny pick-me-ups, little tiny, oh God, I think God might have been talking to me in that. And I think people probably think I'm insane, but I'm not. It's real. Everything that I have said in my life that it was going to play out, it played out the way I said. I'm not crazy. As much as people probably want me to be crazy so that they don't have to look at themselves in the mirror, but I'm not. So these little tiny, you know, it could be anything. I want to give a shout out to a podcast. What is it called? Touched by Heaven on Google Play or whatever it is. He goes, like, he has callers call in and he interviews them, and he calls them, I guess, heaven moments or something. I don't know. It's been a while since I listened to it, but it's all these kinds of things. I was pretty excited to find that podcast. It's all these people who've had these stories about, you know, just little things that happen to them that are moments when God is saying, hey, I'm right here. Like, I didn't leave you. But we have to look for him, and you have to be open to him. And, you know, God says we'll get into heaven because we have a childlike faith. And to most people, like, a card in the mail from like an association that's asking for a donation probably seems like it's a reach, but it's not. Like, I've been in this game long enough. I know my Lord well enough to know what he's trying to say and when he's trying to say it. But the fascinating part is how he says things, like how he gets his messages across sometimes. I never expect it. Like, that was totally unexpected. So, yeah, we have to take our eyes off Satan, especially right now with all the madness in the world, and we have to put them on God. We have to be Christ-centered Catholics, not Satan-centered Catholics. And I forgot this last week. I'm speaking to myself. Because all of a sudden, all the memories and all the diabolical stuff associated with this particular person and event all came flashing back to me, and I panicked. I had legitimate panic attacks. I mean, I was not behaving like a devout Catholic, that's for sure. So it was a good reminder. I did pick myself up rather quickly. It was only a day or two where I was down for the count, but I was banned from church pretty much too, because I was so sick. I wasn't banned, but I banned myself, so I hadn't been to church in over a week because I had this horrible sickness, so that wasn't helping my case. But that's how Satan works, right? Make me sick, can't go to church, and then get hit blindsided pretty much by this stuff. And I was like, oh no. So I panicked. Wrong answer. The answer is to take our eyes off of the darkness and put it and look for that light. No matter how small it might seem, it's there. There's always light there. We have to look for it. So that's my words of wisdom for this evening. Joan of Arc Media out.